Typically when people are picking out a good summer EDC or a pocket knife that's going to work well in shorts, you typically look for a few things, and this isn't always, it just depends on you and your uses, but usually lightweight, compact, or just, you know, the shape of it is a good profile for carry. The clip is very important. I think that's important no matter what, but you know, a lot of times people like to carry deep carry, especially like in shorts and things like that, because they don't want some of it sticking out of their pocket, especially if you're carrying in the pocket. Now, I don't do that. I typically wear gym shorts or like, you know, basketball shorts, and I always carry on the hip like this. Now, there's nothing wrong with carrying it in the pocket like that. A lot of people do that. I just typically don't. I always carry right here, right on the side. And so because of that, I like specific shapes. I can carry any knife like this. I can carry literally a Medford right here. It doesn't matter. It hangs on great. I have no problems. I can run, jump, doesn't matter. But when it's nice and lightweight and, you know, it has a good clip and a nice little profile, it's so comfortable right there, you know, no matter if I'm sitting down or what I'm doing. And so this is typically how I carry all summer, is right on the hip, regardless if it's, like I said, gym shorts, swimming trunks, whatever it is. But if I was wearing cargo shorts, yeah, I'm going to carry just like that. Another thing that's really important for summertime knives is the corrosion resistance, is its ability to withstand, you know, maybe salt water. It just depends on you and your environment and what you do. But even like with me, you know, I'm by Lake Michigan, you know, if we go to Lake Michigan, yeah, that's not salt water, but it's still water. And, you know, you never know if you're in the river or whatever. So corrosion resistance can be very, very important. Starting it off, the PIRATECH Kraken. I picked this knife because it's a fairly narrow knife while being, you know, nice and compact, while also having some toughness. The crossbar lock is nice and tough, and this S90V blade is, you know, a little bit robust. Now it's still plenty slicey, but it's somewhat kind of like a 940, just a little bit slicier. But the real reason why I picked it is because these scales. So if you get it wet or salty or anything like that, you can just pop this scale right off and you can clean it. Now, in order to get the other side off, you do have to have a torque bit and just unscrew that, and then it'll pop right off. And it's because these are using magnets. So the liners are stainless steel, but they're a very, very stainless steel. So it's going to be easy to dry off and oil or anything like that. You should have no problems keeping this knife rust free. Now, and like I said, you know, since it's so easy to just pop the scales off and clean it, it makes it to where you can do it on the go. And S90V is a great stainless steel. It's a super steel. It holds an edge for a very long time, takes an incredible sharp edge, but it is nice and stainless. So as long as you're keeping it dry and keeping it oiled, you should be pretty good to go with this. The clip, nice and smooth in and out of the pocket. It's not deep carry, but it is a great titanium mill pocket clip. And if you get this one that has the galvanized titanium, or whatever you want to call it, it's even smoother than this one. This one has blasted titanium. This one has, you know, this, I don't know what they're calling it, but it's smoother. Next is the Monterey Bay Knives Mini Old Guard. Now, this is using 14C28N. It is riding on washers. Nice snappy action, very, very glassy, smooth, but it's just a compact, good EDC knife. 14C has great stainless qualities. I personally love it. It's an affordable steel, but it holds a good edge. It takes an incredibly sharp edge. But, you know, it's nice and tough and nice and stainless. The G10 scales, you know, are going to hold a little bit of grippiness if your hands are wet or anything like that. Good access to the liners. You do want to make sure you, you know, keep it dry, keep it clean, just like most knives. Deep carry wire clip, they do send you with a couple extra wire clips as well. This is so smooth in and out of the pocket. It's very easy to one hand operate this in and out of the pocket, you know, regardless of what thickness jeans or thickness pockets or shorts you are wearing. Now, this next one is from Razor VX. Now, this I picked because, you know, when it's summertime, you know, and you're doing outdoor activities and stuff like that, you might not have time to sit there and sharpen your blade. So this, you just push that button, pull it out, and you can replace it with whatever blade shape you want. So that's another cool thing. It's so easy to pop out and pop back in. So you can use this for hunting, you can use this for work, you can use this just for, you know, any regular EDC carry. It is a liner lock. This one has micarta scales, which micarta scales, when they get wet, they get nice and grippy, or they stay grippy, so you're not going to worry about slipping out of your hand. It does have a ball bearing action, so it's nice and fidgety, has great deployment. The deep carry clip is nice and smooth in and out of the pocket. It does have button screws, which I don't like, but all in all, it's a cool little pocket knife for anybody who doesn't want to have to worry about sharpening their edge or even just being able to use your blade on surfaces that you might not want to on an expensive steel, because you don't want to tear it up and chip it and all that stuff. Now, piggybacking off of this one, you have the 9 TIE EDC, which is a much more compact, not version, but much more compact replaceable bladed knife. It uses just standard utility blades. Everybody knows those, so they're very easy to obtain. Has an extra thing right there that you can always use if you lose the one that's on the knife, which is this little guy right here. So if you want to change the blade, you just loosen this up, pop that out, and then pull down and out, and it just pops right out just like that. So it's very easy to change the blade, so you don't have to worry about sharpening or anything like that. And you can do it on the go. Nice, strong crossbar lock. And it's basically all G10. So this is like mega lightweight. The deep carry clip's inset with flat screws. So this is very, very easy to carry. Not only lightweight wise, but size wise and smoothness in the pocket clip. Also, another one that has a replaceable blade that I recommend often, because this is like the most affordable, best bang for your buck knife you could buy, because it uses 9 CR18 MOV blades, and it comes with 3 blades with different blade shapes, and then you also can buy replacement blades, and you just unscrew this, it'll pop right out, you can pop it right back in, but it's using a titanium frame lock. So, it's going to be very corrosion resistant. The blade, obviously, you can just replace it if it ever gets rusty or anything like that. It's very lightweight, even though it doesn't have any milling on the inside. The pocket clip is nice and smooth in and out of the pocket. And you get to choose what blade shape you want. So, yeah, and resharpen them if you want to. So this one's just a no-brainer if you're wanting a replacement blade that's just a regular pocket knife. Now with the fourth option, I'm actually going to give you 3 different options, because they're all real steel knives and they're basically the same mechanism. Now this is when you want to go as light as you possibly can. This is one of the lightest knives I've ever felt, especially, at the size that it is. Basically, the handle is entirely made out of G10. So the back spring is G10, the scales are G10, the clip is even G10. So there's no liners on the inside. This is so light. Now the way they get it to work, running on G10, is you do have, the washer system in there, and the back spring right here has a metal plate on it. So that metal plate makes it to where it is touching metal when you're opening it. So it makes for very, very smooth opening for a compact slip joint. Now these are 3 different models from Real Steel, but all 3 of them basically use the same mechanism. They're all G10, the clips are all G10. They just have different blade shapes and a little bit different size. This looks like DLC. I don't think it is DLC, it's probably PVD, but it damn sure looks like DLC. But even though it's K110 steel, which is not the most corrosion resistant, because it has like this almost a polished satin finish with the coating on it, this should be this should hold up plenty well for corrosion, scratches, and things like that. It's a very lightweight EDC knife, very compact, very, very smooth because of the way the mechanism is. So I can technically do it one-handed, which is, pretty cool. But yeah, so the reason why I picked this one is just because it is probably the lightest knife I can think of. If you're looking for something very minimal, but you want still a full-size knife, regardless of toughness or anything like that, it's just about getting the cut done, this is definitely a good one to check out. Now this next knife, the CIVIVI Cubit, this is one of my main summertime carries, or it's been one of my lightweight carries. When I'm wearing shorts or anything like that, Now, I love it because it is so lightweight. These are solid aluminum handles, making this just extremely lightweight, nice and fidgety with the button lock action. We Knife Co. CIVIVI does a great job with the button lock. This one's the premium version, 20 CV and titanium, which is a great corrosion resistant super steel that holds a great edge. I did do actually a head-to-head with these, with edge retention, scales, all that stuff. So if you want to check that video out, you basically get to see these guys go head to head in every way to see what the difference is between, you know, a budget knife and its premium version. Now, this blade is also very slicey. So being that it's so thin, with such a thin edge, this thing is just like, it's a laser beam. And you have a full grip. Now, these I got from Rip's Garage. These are basically stickers. It looks like micarta, but it's like it's like a fabric, but I like it. It does make it a little bit more tactile and a little bit more grippy in the hand, especially under wet conditions. But the clip on the premium one is a titanium mill pot clip. However, you can buy their titanium deep carry clips and just replace it if you want the deep carry clip like this and you still want to make sure it's titanium. You can also get, you know, a color option that might, you know, look cool on the knife. But the budget version does come with a deep carry inset clip, very smooth in and out of the pocket, so lightweight, so compact. Just it's a no-brainer, this one. Now, this next one, these are very hard to get. However, there are a few available right now on Blade Binge. I will link them down in the description. So if you want to get a TRM, that's like the best place to look. There's right now a brand new one in the box, never cut, nothing, titanium version for sale right now. These are USA made. They use washer action, very snappy. 20 CV steel, again, very corrosion resistant. It's a super steel, so it's going to hold a great edge. And these are very thin, very lightweight, very slicey. So this is basically like the perfect EDC knife for summertime carry, for shorts or anything like that, because one, it has a deep carry clip that's, you know, that'll work on any jeans or any pockets or any seams basically. And it's got thumb stud action. So it's very narrow, very compact, no flipper tabs or anything like that. And it's just so lightweight. You forget you even have a knife on you, but when you open it up, you got a full size, very capable knife that's super slicey and very well done. The liners are titanium. So this thing is very corrosion resistant. Next is the Hogue Deca. I want to give you guys some USA made lightweight knives to choose from. A lot of people like to make sure that they're buying USA made. This is the Hogue Deca in MagnaCut steel. They do heat treat it well, 63 to 64 HRC. This one has original goat scales, which are aluminum, and they have lots of milling on the inside. So this is very lightweight. By adding these metal scales, it is, in my opinion, way better than the original. You don't have any flex or anything like that, so it's very solid in the hand. Uses no flex zone. It has a nice strong locking system, very easy to one hand operate, deep carry clip that does work very well in and out of the pocket or the seam of your shorts. Now, the scales that originally come on this are either FRN or G10, you know, just depending on what price range you want to spend. Now, like I said, I think the original goat scales are almost a must-have for this, but that would make it just a slight bit lighter if you have the FRN, but it is very flexible because they are so thin and lightweight. It is a very tough knife, even though it's so lightweight, but putting these scales on there completely changes this knife. And I do have a 15% discount code for original goat, and I'll have everything linked down in the description. The Hogue Deca is a phenomenal EDC carry for all year round, but especially in the summer or with summertime activities. Another thing, MagnaCut is one of the most corrosion resistant steels, plus this one has a coating on it, so you know it's even more corrosion resistant. The handles, regardless if you get the original goat or the FRN, it's going to be corrosion resistant, or corrosion proof I should say. So this is a very corrosion resistant knife for, you know, activities that might lead you to corrode your knife. Next is the CIVIVI Vision. I like this one just because it is a tough knife. I love the profile of it. It's slim. You know, the deep carry clip is nice and smooth and out of the pocket. I don't like the placement of the clip, but it's fine. The locking system is very easy to use. You can also use the locking system as the deployment with some gravity, with a gravity flip, but it also has the thumb stud action. It's just an awesome, awesome knife. Nitro V steel, very corrosion resistant steel, good quality steel. This does come in a couple other versions as well, you know, like the Damascus and different handle materials like micarta G10. In this case, this one is Ultim. I did do a video comparing multiple different versions to each other, including the premium one from We Knife Co. I do think that the best version is the more budget-friendly version, which is pretty crazy to say that the budget version is better than the premium version. But this is fully ambidextrous, like I said, nice and slim, easy to use one-handed, and like I said, the clip nice and smooth in and out of the pocket. It's going to be fairly corrosion resistant. You do have steel liners, so you do want to be careful, and you know, the lock bar and everything, but it's still going to be pretty easy to take care of and maintain. So for number one, I'm going to show you guys a couple different options because the real number one is the one I carry the most. But this is the Vargo Sabata. Now, originally, I did not like this. I hated it because I had a bunch of issues, but I was able to actually fix all my issues. So now it's actually really good. Super snappy, rock solid lockup, you know, nice smooth action. You can reverse flick and use the flipper tab, but the beauty of this knife is that this thing is completely corrosion proof. It's not using steel. This is a, oh man, what is it called? It's like a titanium ceramic deal. I'm not sure. It's called sintered titanium. So this blade it doesn't have any steel in it whatsoever, so it can't get corrosion. So it's going to be easy to clean off. The handle is all titanium. The clip is titanium. So everything in this is basically corrosion proof. So you have a knife here that you can use, you know, under salt water. You can basically use it anywhere in the world. It is very, very lightweight though, like extremely lightweight. You almost don't even know it's in your hand. It is it's that lightweight for sure. But the deep carry, or it's not a deep carry clip, sorry. The non-deep carry clip is, you know, it's going to be pretty easy to operate because it does give you something to grab onto. So it's going to be easy to pull in and out of, you know, whatever you're carrying it on. But, you know, all in all, now I'm okay with this knife. However, the one I would recommend the most is actually coming up. But before that, I do want to bring up the TACTILE Rockwall. Now, the TACTILE knives Rockwall is basically a corrosion-proof knife as well. It's using MagnaCut steel, which we already talked about is one of the most corrosion-resistant steels. It has titanium handle, titanium liner, very slim, very compact, deep carry clip. And, you know, because the blade sits inside the handle so deep, you know, it's just such a very easy profile to carry without it, you know, taking up any room. But it's still a full-size knife that you can get a full grip on, even though it is very slim, narrow, you know, and compact. This one has all DLC because this one's a special edition one, but the regular version, you know, is just non-coated, you know, it's just plain tie and a plain stone-washed blade. This one is all DLC because it's a special edition with some, I think, Cerakote over, you know, these parts. But, you know, they have a few different versions like this. I don't think they're available anymore. They might be, I'm not sure. But the regular one is always available, and it's USA made. For number one, the one I would choose instead of this, but, you know, if you can't get it, or maybe the price is not in your budget or something, the Quiet Carry is made in Taiwan. Now, this one's the large. This one's my favorite, but it does have a more compact version. Now, this is about as corrosion resistant as you can get before going to corrosion proof, I guess. Vanax steel, which is the most corrosion resistant steel you can get that actually is a steel. Titanium handles, titanium everything. The hardware is like a marine grade stainless, so it's as stainless as you can get. Like I said, I prefer the large one. I love this knurling. So for such a because this thing is super slim, and this is why I love this. This is my most carried knife right now because of how slim and you know the size it is. It's a full-size knife that's super capable, 90 thousandths blade stock thickness with like 13 thousandths behind the edge, a nice deep hollow grind. So this thing is a laser beam while being a full-size knife that's super capable. The handle super slim, like it takes up no room at all, even though you know it's a full-size knife. Now if you can't afford a quiet carry, you can also go with the Elementum Button Lock 2, the large one. This has a nice deep hollow ground spear point blade, micarta scales, and you can get aftermarket titanium scales. It has steel liners. So it's just a straightforward knife, and personally I love this knife. One of my favorite knives for EDC because of its profile, and because this profile for me is like the best profile. This is what I most like to use, is this shape and this size, and just basically this all the way around, from the way this rounds over in the back end. And there's a reason why I really like the quiet carry, and because of its profile, this thing is so easy to carry. 14C28M blade steel, comes in different handle materials, so awesome, awesome knife. I love the action. I love the clip. This is like my favorite clip right now because this is smooth. So this is so forgiving to my pockets, and so many clips, even though if they work really well, they still are not forgiving to the pockets over time. Now it does come in an even bigger version if you want a little bit more girth, you know, because it has, you know, thicker scales, a thicker blade, same length and everything, but this one has titanium liners, G10 scales, and it is, you know, a little bit beefier. So if you want a little bit harder use, quiet carry waypoint, it still is using, oh no, sorry, this one's in MagnaCut steel as well. So the MagnaCut steel is almost as corrosion resistant as the Vanax, but the MagnaCut is going to be a bit tougher, quite a bit tougher. Both of them hold an edge for a very long time, so you're not going to have to worry about that. You know, it's definitely one of the top tier steels, but this is my most carried right now because of those reasons. It's so slim, it's so slicey, I think it's very comfortable even for how slim it is. You know, it's so forgiving on the pockets, which is, like I said, that's a main reason why I like to carry it, you know. And I love the way it looks, and I love the materials, so this is an absolute badass knife. Well, if you like this type of content or anything EDC related, I'm going to put some cards up on the screen for you to click on if you want to. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.